This film also had the creepiest Santa. And you could,
oh my god, yes!
I'll pick Andrew Garfield. Peter 3.
Peter 3. Look, I put that on.
Ooh, that comic book filter.
This green ball?
This green tennis ball is Vecna, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
All right, it's just like riding a bike. It's just like riding a bike. Just like riding a bike. Hey, Cinema Peeps.
Guess who's back? Back again. Cinema gals are back. Tell a friend. Guess
who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
I'm not gonna rap.
As I think we've reached our maximum of getting flagged by copyright. So I think
Yes.
we're Gucci. I think we're Gucci. Oh my god, what happened? Like, I took a nap and then I woke up and it was May. How this happen?
It's gonna be May. Yeah, literally, quite literally.
Oh boy, Cinema Peeps. Hi. Yeah.
How have you been? Like, what's been going on? So much has happened in the world and in our lives, and it's just kind of like,
what happened? Yeah, last thing we did was our Oscar nominations.
Well, technically the last episode we did was Dexter.
Oh, Dexter, right. Yeah. Yes, because we finished the prequel. That was a fun roller coaster of emotions. What is it? A bottle case of emotions. What a weird time. Yeah, and then we, of course, had every intention to make more, and then life got really busy.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a lame excuse, but that's kind of what happened. Before I knew it, it was the Oscars, and I had only watched one movie by accident, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, like, I mean, but I was like, I'll still try to watch the Oscars, but I'm gonna be honest. I got about halfway through, and then I made dinner, and then I meant to go back, and then I just sat on my PVR forever, so I just finally deleted it, because I was like, I'm not coming back to this.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like, I don't know what happened. Alright, guys, I don't know what happened.
I'm just gonna say I tortured myself and watched all of it. But yeah.
Good. Someone did.
Thank you.
Thank God. I don't know. It was just weird.
It was.
And I mean, I don't know if it's just because, like, normally every year I host, like, a little Oscar party, so I have people come over. We make it into a game. We try to guess how many, we can predict correct in each category. But this year I was just so busy, I couldn't host one. So I was watching by myself. So I don't know if it was just because of that factor. Maybe it was not as exciting to watch, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just found it was Conan O'Brien who was the host this year.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, I was kind of excited for him to host, because I'm like, yeah, this guy's funny. And then I'm watching and I'm like, did I gaslight myself? Like, what's happening? Like, I don't know. To be fair, it's not like his fault entirely,
No.
I think there's just a lot of weird, like, we were kind of texting back and forth about the James Bond performance that was just kind of like, huh.
Yeah, there was just an amalgamation of things that were put into this show to add substance to it, I guess, because I don't know, like, there just wasn't a whole lot of structure to this one, I found, and it made it very hard to kind of grasp what was going on, and
yeah,
that's all I got. I got.
No, I think that's fair, and I mean, yeah, like I said, I just kind of got bored.
Yeah.
And again, I realized, afterwards, I'm like, was that the factor of why I didn't find it as interesting? But I was like, no, that can't be, because in previous years, like, I do find I don't know, it's an award show, like, they do their best to keep you engaged, but I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, making the game, having people over does make it a lot of fun. I definitely missed that aspect a lot.
Yeah. No, that's true.
And it made me feel very sad, because, yeah, one, wasn't able to host, but two, was also really sad, because, sometimes I feel like we're just talking to the abyss, if that makes sense. Like, Honestly, like, half the time I'm like, I'm just here to talk to my friend. Like, there's nobody else here, even though we posted online. And so I felt really bad because, we're always like, give us recommendations. And normally, I'll be honest, we get crickets. So the fact that, we actually had people who were like, hey, you should watch this one. I was like, what? Someone spoke to me in the abyss?
There's other people out there?
Right? So I felt really bad, and I'm very sorry. We're very appreciative. I think we did comment back, for people who did respond. I know we got some interesting responses from people, but
we got a colorful pile of responses for that
we
video.
did, but we also had some really nice people, and I just want to say thank you. Like, that was really nice. So I think I also felt doubly guilty because I was like, man, I didn't have my shit together. I felt like I let people down for once. I was like, this is odd. I'm not good with this feeling. So then we just haven't recorded in ages.
We're consistently inconsistent.
Exactly. Life, busyness, and yeah, like we were talking about it, and I was like, I really haven't watched a movie.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before with Marvel, but like, I'll be honest, I've just been like movie fatigued in general. And I don't know, like, I haven't quite figured out why, or if it's like just the quality of the content that's been out recently, or if it's just that I've found other things that have kind of taken my attention away or just been more like top priority than movies right now. And yeah, I just haven't really felt the urge to be like, I feel like watching a movie tonight, until the other day when I went and saw one. But that one was obviously one we were looking forward to.
Yes.
But yeah, and I guess for me, just like watching that that this past Oscars just kind of was like the knife. And just the last knife in the wound kind of thing, where it was just kind of like, oh man, like, I don't know, the Oscars have lost its magic and its charm that I used to like love watching about it before, and now it's just, like, whether that's just a sentiment to what's going on in Hollywood right now, where everybody's just kind of grasping at whatever they can to stay afloat, and they're doing their best, or whatever. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but I'm only going off of what I observe, and yeah, from it I was just very disappointed, I guess. I'm just kind of like, oh man, and very disheartened. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think when I want to watch a movie, I want to be like, I'm in it, if that makes sense. And I just have, and maybe just because, I just haven't. There's nothing that I've seen where I'm like, I need to watch this. I remember there was like, oh my god, there's so many movies, I'm gonna watch them all. And now I feel I'm like, oh my god, there's so many movies.
Right?
How the fuck am I supposed to do this all? So I know for me, I've just been watching TV shows to kind of, scratch my itch for storytelling. I won't dive heavily into the podcast because I want you to talk about the big movie. But I would highly recommend High Potential. Me and my mom watched it this year. Great. It's has the star from It's Always Sunny in Philly, Catherine. I already forgot her last name. Fantastic show, and it's already greenlit for a season 2, so I'm excited. I want them to get to work on that. And then this week we're just finishing up Elsbeth season 2. Again, another great show. I also just recently discovered that the actress, her name's Carrie, she is married to, oh crap, I'm gonna have to look this up. The premise of the show is that she is she works for, not the government, but she's a retired lawyer who basically kind of works with the New York police on this new initiative to make sure that they're doing things by the book kind of thing, but she ends up solving crimes with them instead. And their whole stick kind of is like, they have basically a new guest star every week who's like, a new celebrity every week, and they're always the killer.
Oh, really?
So it's always funny to see her kind of spar with all these different people. And this one person who's finally kind of had more of a recurring role, the second I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, I know this guy. I don't know his name. Michael Emerson. He plays a lot of villains.
Okay.
So I feel like I show you a picture, you'll be like, oh yeah, oh, that's the lighting. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they said that he's the villain on Lost. Evil. I know he plays a lot of evil people.
Okay, cool.
Oh, he was in Arrow.
Oh, perfect.
It's Caden James, yeah.
There you go.
But basically, he plays a very creepy man, and I just discovered a couple days ago that they're married, and they've been married for 26 years.
Wow.
I was like, that is insane to me.
Wow.
But yeah, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. And now me and my mom have kind of gone into this show, Watson, a kind of Sherlock spinoff.
Yeah.
The jury is still out. I don't know if I recommend it, but
okay.
I'm still just trying to trot along right now, so.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing as of late, is a lot of TV watching. Oh yeah, and we also just started The Resident on Netflix.
Okay.
That again, I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch it. Again, as I've said on the pod, I'm a big mystery girly. I love mysteries. So this would have been a murder at the White House. I was like, I'm ready to go. And I liked the style. It was really fun. But then when I was like, oh, it's from Shonda Rhimes, I was kind of like, oh. Like, no offense to Shonda Rhimes. She has built an empire, for herself. And we love that, But, if people don't know, she is the creator of Grey's Anatomy, the show that just will never die and will not leave poor Meredith alone. So, she also made How to Get Away with Murder, which is a show I really enjoyed, and then
I forgot about that one.
I feel like they tanked it at the end, and I haven't really forgiven her for that. So, yeah, so I know just a lot of her writing can be very dramatic, obviously, because Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
So I was kind of like, but my mom and my brother really wanted to watch it, so I was like, well, let's all watch it together. So
family affair.
And so far, I've been very pleasantly surprised of how much I've been enjoying it.
Nice.
But again, I'm only 3 episodes in. Oh, I think we talked about this before, but I think what I really want to do, maybe it'll help me get back into like the movie mood, is I discovered on Disney Plus that they have season 2 of Light and Magic.
Yes.
I think we talked about it 2 years ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
How much I fucking loved it.
It's great.
Again, I know I sound really weird. I could really care less about the Star Wars franchise. So you can come at me like I don't really care.
We lost a few subscribers.
Right? But I don't know what it is, but I love watching behind the scenes of Star Wars. It's just amazing to me.
I love watching behind the scenes of all movies, to be honest.
This is
just
true.
Like anything that has to do with showing like the practical effects or just like the art department or like the inspiration, anything, I love it. Give it all to me. I want to see it all.
Right.
I will specifically go and watch all the behind the scenes of all the DVDs that I have over watching the movie sometimes, or I'll do that first and then go watch the movie just so it's fresh in my mind.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that'll help. Although now that I've just said this out loud, I don't know how I blanked this out. Me and my friend did an entire X-Men binge. So I guess I have been watching movies, but it was different. Again, it was superhero related.
Yeah.
Because we had watched the old X-Men cartoon because I'd never seen it. And then, of course, last year they came out with a new season of it called X-Men 98 or X-Men 99. Because that was the year they got canceled. So then we watched the OG cartoon, we watched that, and then me and my friend were like, we should just rewatch all the X-Men films.
Hell yeah.
And I will say, what a treat. What a fucking treat that was. Like, watching the OG was amazing. If people want to know, we basically watched all the X-Men, or all the mutant movies, I guess, because we also included Deadpool in the mix as well.
Ah, nice.
So we started with OG X-Men, and we ended with Deadpool and Wolverine, which was so wonderful to watch that again. So wonderful. Oh my god. I love X-Men. What a great... To be fair, there wasn't a lot of duds, although when there was a dud, it was a dud for sure.
Yeah. No, I remember liking majority of the X-Men movies. They were all very entertaining.
And another big reason we did a big marathon again was because me and my friend both had never watched the Dark Phoenix one. When it came out, because I think it came out 2019, and then of course we just didn't get to the theaters on time, and then obviously the world shut down for a little bit, so it got a little dicey for a minute. So that was another big reason. We're like, you know what, let's just do it all. Because again, I really love First Class. Days of Future Past is still probably one of my favorite X-Men movies. Which, I mean, unfortunately meant we had to watch New Mutants, which, on rewatch, still sucks. What a shocker!
Uh-oh.
I will say the one surprise was rewatching X-Men Last Stand. It wasn't as bad as I remember it being.
I liked The Last Stand. That from what I remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I did enjoy it.
Like, it's not terrible, but like, I don't know, I just remember really not liking it, and maybe just I was influenced by people around me who said they just really hated it. And then I watched it, and we watched it again, then I was like, you know, it's not that bad. Like,
I think it like ties everything together decently.
Yeah, I think really the biggest issue people had is the Phoenix storyline for Jean Grey.
Right.
And, you know, after watching the cartoon, which from what I understand is pretty comic book accurate, I just don't think they had a chance in hell to get that. Like, the storyline, I think I told you before, that, like, there's 5 episodes of you just kind of, like, Jean, like, meeting the Phoenix.
Right.
And then there's another 4 where it's the Dark Phoenix saga, which is where a lot of, like, the X-Men movies, I think, pull from the most.
Okay.
Is Jean's not really bad, it's this force. And also, I did not realize how often the X-Men go to space. It is wild how much they go into space, okay? So, I know people, again, are upset that the storyline and maybe X-Men Last Stand did not really, you know, work, but to me, I'm like, that's fine. There was no way they're gonna be able to tell, because again, maybe I'm putting myself in the mindset that this was the early 2000s, and superhero movies were kind of getting a leg, because I mean, X-Men had come out, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man came out, chef's kiss, you know, so I don't think they were really wanting to push the envelope too much, you know?
Yeah.
And having to explain, you know, because for the most part, Bryan Singer's X-Men were pretty grounded. They were dealing with, obviously, the big overarching issue in the X-Men of, like, you are different. I hate you for being different.
Right.
So, I don't know how in the hell they were going to transition to, oh, by the way, we're going to fly into space, meet another alien civilization, and then this worldly being is going to possess possess the Phoenix, fucking Jean Grey, oh my god, and it's gonna turn evil. Like, I don't know how you were going to get that in the studio, you know?
First of all, the beautiful lighting on you.
The lighting is insane.
It always recurs all the time, but...
I know, we can't record it this time, basically. We now have learned we can't record it this time.
We can't record it this time, no. It's just our guest star. It pops in every so often, you know? It's just like, la.
Right, the light.
But I was gonna say, I mean, for at the time, obviously the Marvel Cinematic Universe hadn't been an inkling in anybody's thoughts that I know of. So they probably didn't know that they could expand upon that much. They were just looking for like nice little pretty packaged movies to put and see, you know, like how many sequels they could get of it. I was gonna say, had they had the chance to have like told all those stories within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like if it existed at the time, it would have been cool to see, because you said like they go into space a lot, and then my mind went, ooh, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it would have been cool to kind of have like both of those storylines parallel to each other, and then those kind of cross in, and then bring the Avengers in.
Right.
Like...
And there's like a whole thing with like Scott's origin where like his parent, or his dad's in space anyway. He's like a space pirate. Like, how do you get
guys?
How do you get
more
that
creativity and original content? We got it for you right here.
Right? What was my thought? So I won't lie, like watching the cartoon gave me, I guess, more of appreciation for all the movies again.
Yeah.
And another thing that when we were watching, my friend was like, oopsie, I googled something I don't think I was supposed to. I was like, uh-oh. Because again, in Deadpool 2, you meet Cable. And I was kind of like, oh, whatever. I didn't think it was a big deal. But I didn't realize that's Scott and Jean's son.
Cable?
Yeah.
Really?
Girl, we'll have to sit down another time. We can talk all about it.
Okay,
this
needs to be another episode. Okay?
It's wild. But yeah, it was something I really enjoyed doing. But yeah, so
I
maybe
can barely see you.
I know, right? I'm just like, I could really be doing anything right now. But yeah, so maybe because I think we talked about it too. There was not a whole lot of movies this summer that we were looking forward to, but you know we have a couple ideas floating, guys. Don't worry.
Yes, we do.
What was my thought though? But yeah, maybe I'll have to try to use this time to maybe catch up. I want to try to watch more films, so hopefully that'll pan out somehow.
That's a good idea. I think I would have to agree. I think the only new content other than the big movie that we might be talking about,
we will.
that I've
We will.
seen.
We will.
Oh yes, yes. The only other new content that I've watched is a travel / cooking show on the Flavor Network called Billy and Dom Eat the World, which is it stars Dominic Monaghan, Billy Boyd, Merry and Pippin, better known in the Hobbits or the Lord of the Rings, I guess. And oh my god, that show is so wholesome and so funny and just like cheers me up. I just love it every week. They're on their this was their third episode they did this past Friday, and they're going to Japan in the next episode. Ooh. They've done England, Scotland, Texas, and Japan. So far,
interesting.
Yeah, and it's just great. I love it.
More importantly, I want to get into the big movie. I want you to talk about the big movie. Tell the people what you saw and give us your impressions.
All right. Well, if you've been following us on the podcast for quite some time now, you know that we are fans of the franchise Until Dawn, the video game. And there was talks at some point that they were going to make a movie, and I think we've talked about it, or we've mentioned it at least a few times on the podcast. And the day has finally come that it premiered in theaters. And I was like, I'm going to take myself to the theater to watch it because I've got a bunch of gift cards and I need to use them.
Yes.
So, and thankfully I was not the only one in the theater this time. So that was nice. Considering that this movie was a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be.
No.
So, okay. In comparison to Five Nights at Freddy's, it's definitely scarier.
Okay.
But in the realm of the game, it's just as scary as the game. So I don't know if that helps your scare meter, but that's how I can compare it for you.
Yar. I really want to go out, but I'm also like, maybe this might be a home watch for Kaylee.
Right? So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if you bring people with you, it probably won't be as bad. But it is definitely scarier watching it in the theater. So just keep that note in mind.
Okay. Lock that nugget in.
Just because it's louder, right? So like everything's big and louder. So yeah.
But I don't like loud noises. They scare me.
Yeah, it's scary.
Okay, but what are your first impressions of the film?
I don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
Because I know I sometimes get on a roll talking and then you can't shut me up. So I'm going to try really hard not to give away too much because I'd like for you to go in.
We have a podcast.
I know, but I'd like for you to go in without any expectations.
Done. Let's go.
Okay. So I went in very open-minded because I know that the movie was they had stated that the movie was not going to be an exact retelling of the story that's told in the game. So already there was a lot from what we had talked about, what we had talked about together was that there's a lot of people, a lot of fans who were kind of upset with that. But I liked how they kind of defended why they did it the way they did because they basically said like, well, you know what to expect. So we wanted to kind of put a different spin on it while still keeping the, essence of the game alive and like still pay homage to the game. So I think they did that really well.
Okay.
It's definitely different. Like, not in a bad way, but it's like, don't go in expecting the same characters and the same storyline kind of thing. Yeah. But they did a lot to like really pay homage and tie in a lot of the similar things. So there's like at times during the movie where something would happen and it would just like my mind would immediately go back to the game and be like, ooh, kind of thing, right? So that was really good. And I don't know. I think what they did was just very creative with how they pulled it off. I really like the director. I think I've told you before. I really like the director. I think he's a really cool person. He did the Annabelle movies and Lights Out and the Shazam movies, and he's all about like tying in low budget filmmaking techniques into the big budget films that he makes. So there's also a behind the scenes video he does on YouTube kind of showing some of the effects that he did for this movie. So I'll have to watch that. I haven't watched it yet. But I like that he does that kind of stuff too.
I think you sent me one. I don't know if it was first specifically for Until Dawn, but I think it was just, him showing this effect of this, was it a woman or a guy getting like attacked with an axe or something, and like the height difference and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to note. I don't know. It was a fun time. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I feel like there wasn't much I had nitpick wise.
Okay.
So that was good. But yeah.
I am glad you enjoyed it. I'm still very scared.
It made me want to go back and play the game. So that's good at least in my mind. Yeah.
That's a positive.
Yeah.
I will say, because the algorithm knows me, and note, I haven't clicked on any of these videos. I've seen a bunch of videos pop up like review of Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't have a lot of nice things, at least from their titles. They're not being very nice.
See, this is why I'd like to get your perspective on it too, right?
Not very nice.
Because like, yeah, I had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of negative opinions about the movie.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, there's like a couple of like some people I have watched their reviews in the past kind of thing. And what am I trying to say? I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know how, because like again, I want to go in with mostly you can't go in completely with like a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing all these people being like, this is what's wrong with Until Dawn, like I don't know if it's just for a catchy title so that you click on it kind of thing, and maybe the reviews kind of like wishy-washy, like I don't know kind of thing,
or did they not like listen to the directors kind of like give that whole pre-warning of, hey, this is why we did it this way, and they're just trying to find and strip it all down to like, this is what they did wrong and this is how it should have been and this isn't accurate, right? And
and I mean, everyone's welcome to their opinions, right? But
yeah,
I know there's like I said, there's a couple of people I do recognize, like I've watched reviews from them before, so I can kind of get a gist of like, okay, like maybe they're not as angry as they say they are, but again, it's just more, it's either obviously I think everyone notices on YouTube, it either has to be bad or good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah,
so that was interesting to me. I was like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of people are not, but again, it's also hard because like I said, it's what the algorithm has curated for me, and sometimes we get into little bubbles. And we forget that, like, maybe other people really enjoyed the movie,
Yeah.
And that there's multiple different opinions and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of, I mean, it definitely didn't make me very happy to see. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. But obviously I wanted to succeed. But again, like I said, I didn't watch any of their reviews. I haven't watched it because I want to, go in.
Mm-hmm.
My scaredy pants, but,
Well, and like we've had so much fun playing the game itself and all the other games that it's kind of like, trickled down along with it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to just hear your perspective and your opinion on it based on your love for the game as well too, right? The other night actually like starting the game again just to like just to see, because it's been so like such a long time since I've started, or since I played the first one at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't get very far into it, but just from remembering things, like having started playing it again and stuff, I'm like, if anybody really like were to ask and be like, is it worth going to see? I think if you're a big diehard fan of the game, you definitely have to like, you definitely have to go in with an open mind, but know that like, as with anything really, I guess like nothing's gonna beat the original. So don't go in kind of like comparing it like hardcore to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My checklist was, did I have a good time? Did they, did they pay good homage to the game? Did it make me want to go back and play the game, or did it ruin it all for me? Like those were my kind of like criteria that I wanted it to meet, right? And so far it checked all the boxes. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy with it. I think they did good for what it was.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, like I said, maybe you might have to be home watch for Kaylee. I don't know. We'll have to see, but hopefully I can watch it semi-soon, and then I can give my thoughts on it.
Then we can do an official review.
Spooky review. Spooky.
Yeah.
I will say, because, yeah, Until Dawn is made by super massive game studio, and they're finally releasing Directive. I love my brain sometimes. I'm clearly very dyslexic. I was like, yeah, it's Directive 2080 or something. No, Kelly, it's Directive 8020. So I was so close. Just a little dyslexic. But that's coming out this year, and that's their kind of like... They're like now their new kind of horror world that they've built after Until Dawn.
Okay, cool.
Which, I mean, maybe I'm blowing some smoke up everyone's asses, but I will say, like, I think, you know, obviously because Until Dawn was such a successful game, but then, like, the game, like, I don't know if this was always the plan, but, like, the game developers noticed how much people were playing the first game together with people.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, games that have come out after Until Dawn, they always have a focus on, like, having more friends to play all the characters. So their Dark Pictures anthology series is like kind of like the umbrella term, I guess, for all their games. For like Madame Medan, House of Ashes is the third one.
Little Hope.
Little Hope was the second, and fourth was The Devil in Me. Oh, yeah. Fantastic game. You've never played that one, have you?
Is that the no? Which one's the Ashley Tisdale one?
That's the House of Ashes.
Okay, so that was the last one I played. Yeah.
Okay, when you come down, we're gonna play a little bit of The Devil in Me.
Hell yeah!
It's so good, so good. But like I said, I don't know if that was always their intention to have it be, having multiple people play, but they noticed because of the huge success of Until Dawn, everyone was playing it together, and then that's when it felt like they were kind of switching up how they made their games. So I don't know if we'd have these games, you know, like at least there's these games mechanically wise now. Mechanical? I don't know what I'm trying to say. They could have been very different, I guess is all I'm trying to say, from Until Dawn. But yeah, I still hope the movie is good, but yes, the jury is still out, and we're still going to try to keep the best, you know, open mind that we can.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go into most movies. But especially ones that are any sort of remake or retelling or reboot or live action version, whatever.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for today's episode. We just kind of wanted to do a little catch up and just say hi. Because, yeah, you know, the summer's coming. Although, speaking of new movies, you know, we saw trailers for, I kept seeing the trailer for the new Superman movie that's coming out July 11th. And coincidentally, that's when Dexter Resurrection is coming out.
Yeah.
So, July 11th. Big day, people. Big day.
Big day. We also have the Fountain of Youth coming out this month.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited for that one. About. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna be like, listen, guys, this is movie like National Treasure. You can watch with me or butt out. But I'm watching it right now.
Right now.
What day it comes out? Is it May 24th?
I think I have put it in my calendar. Hold on. I think it says May 23rd. Yeah, May 23rd.
Is that
That's Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday. Friday movie night.
Woo!
Oh, but yeah, we're basically what I'm trying to say is we're gonna try to be here for a little bit, but it is gonna be summer, so it's gonna be hectic, but we're gonna do our darndest. And you know what? Before you know it, it's gonna be spooky month again.
Oh yeah.
And then you know what? We're gonna close out with Hallmark. But
yeah,
we gotta get there first.
Yeah, we gotta get there first.
But yes, until next time, watch all the content. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Monkey.
And slap.